a lot of the yoga, and made very popularized by Ramana Maharshi, super powerful practice, who am I? You keep asking that question, who am I? I'm a man. Who is the man? The man is the father. Who is the father? And you keep going and going and going until all you're left with is I am. And that's who we are in essence. But in practical terms, a more powerful question right now is, who are you becoming? Who are you becoming? Because all of the yoga is designed to get to the mind. Get your body right, get your external world right, get your breath right, get your senses right, get your concentration right, get to that, because your beliefs are driving everything. So it says master the mind. But your beliefs are shaping your reality, and whatever your beliefs are, your actions will follow that, and then that reflects in your reality. So when we say, who are you becoming, who do you actually want to become? Who is that person? You want to be successful, you want to be powerful, you want to be abundant, you want to be, powerful and super peaceful, want to have influence. What is it? You want to be the best mum in the world? What is it? Who are you becoming? Because then we look at, well, what are the beliefs that have to go with who you are becoming? And then once you have those beliefs, what are the actions that have to go with it? And then what are the practices and tools that are going to support that process? So when we go into that, we look at this process of mastering your capacity, because in the end, it's all about your capacity to hold more success or influence or abundance or whatever it is that you want to become. But the first thing is returning. And the returning just means, like, yoga is a process of neti, not this, not that. It's a reductionist process. It's subtracting what's no longer necessary. It's subtracting all the layers the world's put on top of us. And once you start removing those layers, then who you are, your genius, the blueprint for your well-being, simply bubbles to the surface. So remove the tensions, remove the contractions, remove the negative thoughts, remove the emotions that don't serve you, remove the scrolling, remove the addictions, remove the people that aren't useful in your life. Remove. So it's going back to who you were before the world trained you to be somebody else, and it's also returning to full system yoga instead of just mistaking the vehicle for the destination. Asana is yoga. When you return, then you amplify, because once you return, the return phase is about purify the system, strengthen it, then stabilize the mind, regulate your nervous system, now start to amplify. Then you start to build, and then you start to work more with the inhale. You start to work more with retention of breath. You start to work with bandha. You start to work with mudra, mantra, all of those things which are containing, directing, shifting energies around. Because amplifiers are all about building your energetic system on a base that is stable and grounded. As you do that and build your light will shine aspects on the shadow that you've hidden away. We've got to own those, embrace those, because those things are what is going to allow you to really step into the bigger capacity. So we learn to reframe it, turn it into its positive duality, and then we broadcast ourselves out into the world. So I call it the yoga capacity stack, but this is the 7 steps of Hatha yoga. And so clear, purification, build, strengthening, calm, stabilize the mind, regulate your nervous system, charge, build energy, expand your perception, enhance your perception, see the world in ways that other people don't. Here's the thing, when you build, energy is light, energy is heat. Heat will purify, it'll detox, eventually it'll burn away the karmic limitations. Energy is also light. Light is information. Light has pretty much an infinite capacity to hold information. But as you increase the light, as you increase the frequency of the light, you tap into a higher information. Then you take that information and then you make it how it works to help other people in their language. You're higher up the mountain, then you come down and share that light in a way that's useful to your cohort or to your people or what they're going through. And then direct, that's the illumination, that's putting it out there. Right? So in the rebuild system, the first part is, cleaning the system, removing what's dragging you down. Right? Digestion, elimination, energy blockages. In the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, right? Hatha, Ha, energy of sun, energies of the sun. Ta, energies of the moon. We're bringing those together. That process of doing that is purifying, right? Mobilizing the joints, getting energy moving through the different parts of the body. That's where all the asana sits, right? So that we are able to think of when you shut down information, when you shut down aspects of yourself, when you shut down your life force, how do you do that? As a body-mind system, we do it by limiting our movement, limiting our breath, and limiting our expression. So as a body, we limit it by creating tensions, or we make our muscles floppy and switch off so they can't get enough tone going through them. With our breath, we contract our diaphragm, we limit our breath, we breathe up higher, we breathe faster. With our expression, we hold back, whether it's verbally or through movement. The process of that is being able to, in Hatha Yoga, we do that, and then we create a body. So when you look at that, when I look at a body, I'm looking at where is consciousness not moving? Where is expression shut down in this body? And in my mind, I'm going, what is the expression that's shut down? I can tell because it's just part of what I do. And then I think, okay, what shape or template can I use to open the expression back up in this body, to open up the aspects of themselves that they've shut down? And when they do open it up, how can I help them to hold it? How can I help them to ground that? How can I help them to bring that back into their life? Hatha Yoga often gets translated as force, so it's forceful. No, it's bringing two parts, it's forcing two parts of yourself, the moon and the sun. The moon's kind of below the diaphragm, it's the downward elimination part. The sun is the stimulating prana energy part, and we're forcing those two things together. Two things that don't normally come together, we're bringing them together. And what that does is it increases the samana, the fire, and the metabolism, and the heat, and the fire, because that's what yoga is about, burning away all of the impurities in the system. But the end point of Hatha Yoga is the beginning point of the Raja Yoga. Then you start working with the mind. Then you start working with the senses. So clean the system, build the body. Then calm the system. Learn to stabilize the mind. The very simplest thing of that is sitting, you prepare, but you sit for 5 minutes and you want to hold one thought in your mind for 5 minutes. Now, if you work with people, nobody can do that. Most of the people can't do it for 10 seconds. They're off, oh my God, I'm off wandering again, bring it back, I'm going to stay here. And then they're at McDonald's, oh, bring it back here. Then they're on holidays, oh, now I'm paying bills. Yeah. If you can't do that, how can you focus and create the life that you want? Because how manifestation happens is you hold a thought, you hold it very clearly, like what the belief is, and then you hold it in a field of prana. So when you can hold a thought very clearly and amplify and hold that in a field of prana, you can manifest very quickly. That's the power of creation. But very first, we have to learn to stabilize the mind. Because if you build this pranic field and it's built on chaos, and instability and randomness, and it's just a mess. Right? It amplifies that distortion. Stabilize the mind. Once the mind is stabilized, then you regulate the nervous system. We balance Ida Pingala, we balance sympathetic, parasympathetic, right? We create a center. When we create a center, when we center those two polarities, then the senses come back in. When the senses come back in, our consciousness starts to come back and collect back up in Anjana. Right? We get focused. Later on, focusing on emptiness can come later on. First of all, learn to hold one thought. Could be a sunrise, could be a mantra, could be a guru, could be a flower. Hold that one thing. Once you can do that for 5 minutes, then you've really accomplished something. That is a big, big accomplishment in life. Hardly anyone can do that. Stabilize the mind, calm the system, right? Then we're building energy. This is the sun. These two were the moon, right? This is the sun. Then you start to build energy, build life force. As you build life force, again, it's energy, it's light, it's information. You will expand your capacity. You will experience the world and see the world and get insight and inspiration in ways that other people don't. And that's why sometimes it can feel a little bit lonely because you move further and further outside the bell curve. But the relationships you do have and the community you do build is super strong, super powerful, super connected. So we want to do that. And then the last stage, which is the fire, is to activate your power, right? Illumination, clarity, decisiveness, leadership. And in the end, that's what it's all about, right? Because once you have that, you are the leader. You are the point of reference. You are the fire. You are the power. It's sitting on grace and stability and inclusiveness. But hey, I'm here. I'm the teacher. Most people, what happens in the yoga industry is that most people are just taught someone's version of a sequence or a vinyasa, and they go out and teach that. They do it well. Hopefully they do it well. They're taught well. They're confident. But they're teaching a vinyasa sequence. And a lot in the industry, they feel like it's all about, love and being inclusive and like everything's yoga, everyone's got their path. No, not all is yoga. The yogis weren't talking about that. They were talking about power. The first line in the Rig Veda is about the fire, right? Igniting the fire. It's about power. But the power in the service of the heart, not power that manipulates, not power that's just doing the lower three chakras, power in the service of the heart. And so many people are taught like the kindness and being nice, but they've got no spark. The modern yoga doesn't teach people how to be powerful. It doesn't teach them how to reclaim their fire. That's where the gold is.